morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. So, I'm a little confused this morning. I know that God has a plan. God has a perfect plan this morning. And sometimes in life, when you start hearing God, faith doesn't always add up mentally within your head. It doesn't always add up. I remember a few years ago, God had told me to quit college, fly to California, and I flew to California. That's what I did. It didn't add up to me. He gave me a vision on the altar. That day, he actually gave me a vision of who my husband would be and what my son would look like and what my daughter would look like, and a vision of my future. I saw it. I saw it loud, and you know, I saw it. It was just, it was no confusion in it all. But the point of going to California, you know, leave college and go to California, that sounds weird. Go to San Francisco. I slept in the airport that night. I got there and God had, you know, told me it was just one of those things where, you know, God had originally told Abraham, you know, sacrifice your son, your only son, in which I have given you after the fact that your promised child, sacrifice your promised child. And if you can do that, you know, like, just have faith, trust me, sacrifice him. I know it took you and your wife years and years to have this child, but sacrifice him. Sacrifice my son. That's a lot. You know, that's given a promise, you know, but that's, you know, his faith. You know, he was willing to kill his only child for God. God. And sometimes it just seems so, you know, he heard God, you know, and it says, you know, God is not author confusion, but like, in your mind, you're like, God, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? Like, you just gave me a son, you just gave me a child, you just gave me this, you gave me, you know, everything that I wanted, and now you're telling me to sacrifice. Abraham, you know, didn't question God like the way I'm speaking, but I know within myself as a human being, a lot of the time as people, when we hear God, you know, you're like, wow, God, did you just say that? You know, like, you know, this is a little confusing, you know, this is a little crazy. Jasmine, quit college, what? Go all the way to California. California, I don't even know anybody in California. You know, give to anybody that you see along the way. I sat with a homeless man and gave him some food, never saw him again. And then he had me sit in a little ice cream parlor. And I remember after him telling me that he wanted to give me a family, he said, I brought you all the way here across the country to give you something. To give you something. I want to give you a family. And, you know, the thing is I had to bring you all the way over here because I heard him speak loud and clear, because I want you to make the decision on your own of me being able to give you something. And it's kind of like when Abraham, you know, first got his promise to have Isaac. You know, it was leave your country, go to a place that I will show you. and leave behind your family and everything behind. And Abraham had to do that. He had to leave because God wanted to give him Isaac, you know, which later on, you know, made that place where he wanted to sacrifice him. And, you know, it's just like, wow, you know, how you know, you want to give me something, God, but then you want me to sacrifice it, you know. Sacrifice my son, you know, give him my son, give him up, let him go. You know, it's big. For me, that would seem big, you know. God, you know, letting go, sacrificing something in which God gave you, you know, letting go of it and knowing that it's His to do as He pleases with, you know, and you have no control over it, giving it all up. And, you know, give up your son, Abraham, a little bit. Give up my son, you know, my only son, the son that you promised me, the son that you were going to give me. I mean, like, that you gave me, you know. I waited all these years for this, and now you want me to give up my child. Like, you know, that's a big, you know, when God asks you to do big things, it's a little crazy. Jasmine quit college. I had done a video a while back ago when your faith makes you look crazy. And sometimes the thing that God asks you, they do make you look crazy. They bring you in all types of directions, you know. God told me to quit college, go to California. After California, go to Tennessee. I went to Tennessee. After Tennessee, go to Florida. And I know there was a purpose and everything. But for me, in obeying God, it just, in my head, it just didn't, it just all didn't add up. Like, still to this day, I'm just so confused because, you know, like, your faith makes you look crazy. And, like, a lot of time in the Bible, like, you look at the way people do things, they just don't add up, you know. When people have faith, they just, you know, march around the walls of Jericho, you know, and the walls fell. March around, the walls fell. You're gonna have a baby at 90 years old, you know. It just didn't add up, you know. You know, sometimes it just doesn't add up. And there's like some things right now in my life where it's not that I'm questioning God, because, you know, they say not to question God, but in this day and age, you know, I feel like people want answers, you know. They want to know things versus, you know, the people back in the day who didn't really want to know things. Like, you know, when I get home from work, oh, how was your day, honey? What did you do? You know, oh, what did you do with that? You know, like, all right, can I get some answers? Like, I am a person who wants to know. You know, I don't want to just not have the answers. I want truth. I think, you know, why, God, why did you have me do this? What did it benefit, you know? If it all didn't add up to, you know, a certain way, why? I don't understand, you know. For me, I'm still a little confused on why he had me quit college, or so why'd God have me quit college? Why? I think today I want to sit and have a little talk with Jesus, because originally when God had me quit college, he had showed me a vision on the altar of what it is that he wanted for my life. And honestly, the vision was about having a family, who my husband was, and honestly, altogether, my husband's not that person who originally, when I heard God, you know, and the vision on the altar, I had a son and a daughter, and I don't have any children. So, and he had brought me all the way to California, and he told me that he wanted to give me a promise, kind of like Abraham, when he promised Abraham his son, and that, you know, basically, like, he had told Abraham, you know, get out of your country to a place where I'll show you. And as soon as he was away from Lot, he was able to, you know, tell him what he had for him. And that was kind of like God when he told me to go to California. He told me that he wanted to give me a son and a family, and in that, you know, he brought me all the way to California because he knew that my family would try to get in the way of what he had for me, you know, because back then I literally had family members telling me, like, oh no, I don't believe that God has, you know, marriage for you, or I don't believe that God has children for you. Like, literally, like, that was literally their statements. I don't believe that you should be a mom, basically. I don't think that you should be a wife. And within my heart, that was my only dream. That was my only goal. I want to be a good wife, you know, and I think I do a really good job, and to be a good mom. And so, you know, I don't have kids yet, but like the vision in the beginning was not the same. I saw it on the altar. God brought me over to California, and you know, I know that's not the only reason why he had me quit college. I mean, I'm back in college, and my degree has actually changed, but it's just the simple fact that I want answers, because for me, things are not adding up, and in the fact that things are not adding up, I did a video a while back ago saying, is it real or is it all in my head? And, you know, the vision in which God gave me, I didn't want it to be something that was fake, not real, not all in my head, not all made up, not all made up. And at this point, it just feels that way. It feels made up. It feels like a lie, but I know I know what I heard that night. I even remember the message that was being preached. It was talking about the valley of the dry bones, and how Ezekiel, you know, can these dry bones live? You know, can the vision in which God's giving you live? And the message was right on time with the vision in which God was trying to show me, that he wanted to give me a family, and that he wanted, you know, he wanted me to have a son and give me the son that he promised me, and that, you know, that I would marry a certain person, and none of that had happened. And